Anyway,
bosses.
and Dad, he always thought he had to beat Dick for something, just most anything would do. So when he went away,
Did
you really, Grandpa?
Here comes Dick.
I had the feeling, I
He always
kept
had to
having
put
the
the dog
feeling.
away. The dog wouldn't let him do anything.
I thought, if I had Dick alone, I'll bet you I could handle him. Well, then Bill took a whack at it. And Bill couldn't handle him any better than I did.
Defend yourself there, Dad.
Well, Dick,
You take a look at Dick.
Anyway, I finally got Dick back.
Turned out all right.
Yeah. I finally
Dick went
got
left
Dick
for a while.
back
Well, that's-
to where I could blister him
I don't think he ever touched one of his kids.
on his bare legs. I could blister him, and I got along pretty good with him. And he told me here just not long ago, it hasn't been 6 months ago that Dick told me. He was harping about what one of his kids was doing. He just couldn't do a thing with those kids. He just something, it was fierce. I said, for crying out loud, Dick. I said,
Blister him.
leave them alone. I said, leave them alone. I said, they're not doing anything. He says, Mama, he says, I'm not going to give up on those boys any more than you ever gave up on me. He says, you never once ever gave up on me. And he says, I'm not going to give up on them. So
they're not, yeah,
so
they're not boys.
They're not boys anymore.
he's men. They're men.
I know.
But he said,
I'm experiencing the same thing.
he said, I finally realized what a fool I had been, and he said, I turned around and decided I was going to do something, make something of myself. And I said, you didn't do a very bad job, Dick.
See, Dick's problem was that Mother and Dad both worked, and they would give orders before they went to work. And then as soon as they walked out the house,
Dick gave the orders.
then the relatives gave other orders. And so Dick got it whether he was coming or going, because if he didn't do what Mother and Dad told him, he'd be in trouble, and if he didn't do what the relatives told him, he would be in trouble.
Well, I didn't know that. Nellie used to slap the hell out of him.
Well, I didn't
all the
either
time.
now. I'm not sure of that, but Dick
Well, I could be pretty sure about it because I know how nifty Nellie was with her hands.
But she never did it with the rest of us, but Uncle Warren
I
tried.
don't think he touched her kids. I don't think she ever.
I threatened to leave home one time when Uncle Warren tried it with me. See, the radio in the house was mine. The only way Dad could get a radio was to buy it for me. So he bought it for me, and it was my radio, but it was in the living room, the whole family.
No, I didn't buy it. I had an old radio and I had it rebuilt.
Yeah, and then you gave it to me for something.
You know,
But anyway,
that guy's name, he married the baker's daughter.
Coburn?
Daughter.
Oh, I don't know.
but anyway, Dick
electronic.
realizes Dick knows that he was no angel, for Pete's sake. He keeps saying, I don't want my boys to be like I was.
Well, see, there he knows he wasn't any angel.
Oh, he knows it.
But Dick has never laid a hand on one of his children.
But he did verbally.
Yeah,
He can look
He
at them.
took care of his boys,
differently.
yeah,
Well, your dad did
very
that a lot.
verbally.
Well, it's just like he
Your
said.
dad did that a lot.
Dick told
He
me,
could
he
look at
said,
it.
I knew better than to ever lay a hand on any of the boys, he says, because I would never have known when to quit.
Well, it's good
But
that
now
he knew his
he
limit.
appreciates the whole thing.
Well, I always say
And I
that
think they do.
when somebody matures, for crying out loud, a sign of maturity is a sign of controlling your temper.
But
A very immature person is the one that cannot control their temper. Children but always knew how to raise them.
he
knew better
He
than-
was really cruel to Dick. Now, Bill took Dick. You took him out to Tonopah.
Yeah, we took him out of juvenile home. Well, that's the only way that Dick could get out, was in our custody.
But no, he could get out under my.
Well, that's what they told us up there. That's what they told us when we went up there.
But anyway,
Then once Daddy was home, they weren't going to let him out.
well, I got him out without Daddy there.
Yeah, but not that time.
Well, anyway, they took him up there, and got along pretty good with him, but still you
Until he stole all our money.
yeah. Took their money and took
We
it.
made $100 a month in Tonopah, and I got a check of $80, and then Father would get 20. And I had gotten my check and cashed it, and it disappeared, the whole wallet, everything. And I didn't believe Dick had done it. And then,
How did they get home? Did I go up there?
yes,
Did
we called you and told you to come and get him. We,
Anyway,
finally, we said, we needed some bread, and, we told Dick to go get the bread, and Bill says, and I want the wallet and the money back when you get the bread. We didn't even have money for bread. That was all our money. And so he went and he brought the wallet back, and I think there was $20 gone in it, wasn't there?
well,
I know
he
it wasn't
had
all there. He had spent some of it, gone to the fair, remember?
Went to a circus or something.
Yeah.
Carnival.
any place to spend the money.
But anyway, he came back and he brought it back, and then we called Mother and told him to come and get it. We just couldn't afford it. But he was pretty good otherwise. I would go downtown for something. We lived in town, but I'd go downtown and I'd come back
You
and he
remember that, Mark?
idolized Margaret. And I'd come back and he and Margaret be gone, and my guy'd be 40 below zero. He'd have Margaret all bundled up in the snowsuit and the whole thing, and in the stroller, and he and Margaret would be downtown looking things over. He enjoyed that. He was real good about that. He was good as a rule. That was the only thing that he really did that we found very hard to put up with. We just couldn't afford it because
Well, he was a corker. Now, maybe you think it's a picnic to raise a guy like that. But,
You'd steal a bicycle Laguna, ride it to Long Beach.
Stu in Long Beach.
Newport, steal, leave that there, steal another one, ride home.
and you couldn't keep up with him.
No, because he was, now he swore up and down.
You couldn't keep up with
He
him.
swore on the Bible that he did not take that wallet with that money in it. He swore he didn't.
Yours?
Yeah,
How
he
he happened to end up with
He
it?
got that fast.
I
He
finally
just-
bluffed him into
Yeah.
thinking that he had it.
He just plain old told him, he says, we don't have any money for food and we need bread, and so you go get the bread, and then when you come back, I want the wallet in it. And he just plain old told him that, and when he came back, in the bag was the wallet. There was about $20 gone.
I was gonna say, but no money.
No, there was all the $20, and, but,
It's just like Dick said. Dick's told me this himself. I'd always listen to him. Of course, I didn't believe him half the time, but I listened anyhow. But he told me in later years, he says, I couldn't get along without money. That's all there was to it. I had to have money. I couldn't get along without money.
Raymond.
And I wasn't particular how I got it.
well,
But then, when he got old enough, now he left home and go up north and work in the logging mills and on the lumber yard, lumber dumps and the whole shebang. He enjoyed that. He enjoyed, well, he went to the Merchant Marines too.
he's real good-hearted, too. He
But
did everything
he
done.
enjoyed all of that because he came home with a pocket full of money that he had earned.
Yeah, when you come off.
But when he didn't earn it, it didn't make any difference where he got it.
Well, he was working that time. He took those, remember the time I was saving, when I was pregnant with Margaret and I was saving,
Blue check?
no, those, stamps, and if you
I
filled
know.
up a book, you got a bond. Saving stamp.
Oh, he took
Okay, he was working, and I
had.
had one saved up, and it was gonna be in Margaret's name when she was born, and he took that. We never got that, and I remember he was washing dishes at the broiler or
I'll have to
somewhere.
tell him about that.
And
He
you
owes
went
me
down-
money.
You went down and that night where he was working and told him that you wanted my stamp book. And he denied it and always denied it, and we never got it back.
I went down.
Yeah, you went right down where he was working. He was working at bowling, the broiler, I think.
Well, he must not, he wasn't getting near enough pay there.
No.
So he had to get it somewhere else.
Well,
No.
he set pins at the bowling alley. He's always worked. He's always worked.
He took my savings, stamp things too.
Yeah. During the war, you could buy these stamps. And you put them in
Yeah,
the
he
book.
took, I gasoline stamps and sell
Yeah.
those too.
And when you got a book full, then you got a savings bond, which was worth it cost $18.75 or something like that.
So I say this to all of you.
Yeah,
If you're raising a son and have a little problem, hang in there, because one of these days they'll be worth their salt.
We really have no complaints about our two.
You're
Well,
fortunate.
Yeah, we've
Dick-
always
fortunate.
felt fortunate.
the
too.
thing about Dick was that he could lie. And that was too bad, because you'd swear that he was telling the truth. In fact, Bill has said that he has seen Dick lie to people that they know better and make them believe it.
One time he come home with a pocket full of money, and her and Dick went down and they deposited it in the bank, and she kept the bank book. It went on for months, I guess, something like that. And one time he's going down and have the interest added into it or something. Went down there and why, this account's been closed for months. Dick went down there and said he lost his bank book, so he went and drew all the money out.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But you don't ever give up on them. You never give up on them.
A lot of parents
She
do.
thought that
I
Dick
know
was
they
doing
do.
good, having a bank account down there and everything.
You thought you'd done real
Right.
good because you hadn't
Now,
touched
Cliff
it?
would have done something like that if he'd had a chance. See, he had to get my signature also to get it out. He couldn't just do it on his own. But Cliff would have done something like that if he could have.
Cliff didn't hold a candle to Dick.
I know, but he would, something like that, Cliff would have done. And he'd have pulled the same thing. He'd have gone in and told him he lost his bank book. And
Well, of course, there's no two kids alike. You
That's for sure.
don't have two alike. But he was a stem winder to raise, I'll tell you that. But it was sure all worth it.
well, like I
He
said,
can't do enough for us.
I always felt sorry for Dick because, like I said, he had so dang many bosses.
Well, this is just what I said. Everybody, all excepting Florence. Florence wasn't always yakking at him, I don't think she ever laid a hand on him. I'm sure she didn't. Or anything like that. But everybody else that came there, now Ruth picked on him, Bill's mother.
Yeah, he'd be just perfect for her, wouldn't he?
Florence is the lady that you came back to North Carolina with, right?
No, that was
That was
Blanche.
Blanche.
No, Florence was,
You never knew Florence, Margaret.
I don't think you did. Redheaded.
I just barely remember.
Florence, Florence was grandmother, your grandma, Grandma Hatch's sister's daughter.
We were cousins. But anyway,
And very bright haired. She was married to Uncle Warren for a while. They were
Florence had
cousins and married.
a lot of good traits.
Yeah, I didn't mind Florence as much
I was
as I
gonna
did
say
anybody
now,
else.
Florence, she stayed with us there for a while, and by golly.
Mother and Florence always went dancing.
Well,
Friday nights.
but when she stayed with us, and when I get home from work, I was always last home from work, and she always had a nice, and she was a beautiful cook. She always
No, I don't remember any of this.
She always had a real nice dinner all ready and everything like that. The table fixed nice.
I remember her red hair though.
And, well, that was dyed.
I know, it was brilliant.
Henna, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This was real.
But anyway,
Oh, really? They claim henna's good for your hair.
They
Oh,
claim
no.
that,
goes
you
through
use
to
too
the
much,
brain.
those
They claim now that it's good for your hair.
We were taught.
good for your hair, but not for your brain.
Makes you see red.
Well, leave it on like she did.
You know, you're only supposed to let that behind your head for a second or two.
She took enemas every day too.
Oh, did you? I know.
Is this camera on?
When Florence was there, the house was always spotlessly clean.
Yeah, I did that.
Not all of
I
it.
don't remember Florence doing any of
Well,
this.
brother, I do.
She was just a good organizer. Yeah, she was.
She was very neat and clean about everything.
I missed the deal on the enemas. What was that all about?
She took enemas every
She
day,
just-
Grandpa said.
Oh, Grandpa knows that.
To keep her weight down and such as that?
Oh, that's aneexia.
What?
That's a disease now.
Yeah.
Well,
People make themselves
she
get
always
sick or they...
imagined that she
Oh no, they
needed
take
an
the
enema.
laxatives or enemas every day to keep their weight down.
No, she was always taking enemas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, poor thing, she's dead and gone.
Boy, she used to dress up, and even as a little girl, I always thought she was flashy. Even as a little girl.
Well, she liked
probably
flashy
could.
colors.
Yeah, she probably, well, she dressed so flashy. Like in broad daylight, she'd probably have on this bright dress with this fiery red hair and probably rhinestone earrings and I don't know what all. I mean, yeah, flashy. And she wasn't this way, really. Yeah, she always had all this makeup. I remember one time, I think I said something to her about her makeup because she said to me, well, Dion, if you think your mother doesn't wear it, I'll put it with you because she kept saying, you know, your mother wears it.
She had
But
the
you
most
see, mother could
beautiful-
wear it and it didn't look like Florence. Florence looked made up.
She
And
had
you
the
know.
most beautiful skin that you ever saw in your life.
It's because she wore so much makeup on it.
No, it wasn't either. She had the most beautiful skin.
Well, Aunt Nellie did too.
She didn't hold a candle to
Yeah, but Aunt Nellie had pretty skin too.
Yeah, she did, but it wasn't the,
Daddy's got pretty skin.
well, he doesn't wear lipstick.
Yeah, but I'll never forget the time that I first discovered a wrinkle in Daddy. And I think I was married, and he was sleeping on the floor in the living room, and I walked up and looked at him, and I saw 2 wrinkles on his face and almost died. I'll never forget that. Remember, I fussed and fussed and fussed about it because there were 2 wrinkles on Daddy's face.
Oh no, plastic surgery.
Yeah, but he still doesn't have a lot of
Yeah,
wrinkles.
he's had plastic surgery since.
Yeah, look at, he still doesn't have a lot of wrinkles.
You ever seen my brother, Cliff?
Oh my.
He's just like a,
He looked like a 6-year-old boy when he signed.
his face was just a swoon when he died.
Well, Uncle Roy wasn't bad. And he was, what, 92 when I saw him last, or 90?
Roy,
He died at
92.
93.
93?
Roy had
Well, then he was
different
92
skin.
when I saw him.
Roy had different skin than Cliff. Cliff just had a young boy's skin, a young boy's expression. I wish.
That's
Okay.
what Cliff is named after.
I think half of the family's named after Cliff. You know, Dewey's boys after Cliff too.
Why, what's his, oh, his name was Cliff? I forgot. Yeah, I always knew him as Buddy. Yeah. I didn't realize his name was Cliff. Well, what had happened is Uncle Cliff had died right about Margaret was born. And then there was something about it, anyway.
No, Margaret went back. No, that was Donna.
Yeah, that was so when
went
Donna was
back
a girl.
Went back
Okay.
and saw Cliff.
Margaret though, in fact, Joe and her sister, wasn't it her sister, came out and visited.
Oh, yeah.
Right at, when Margaret, was it multiple sclerosis?
No, this is
It was one of the 2, muscular dystrophy or multiple sclerosis.
Where's this?
It was muscular dystrophy because multiple sclerosis they get when they're young,
Not very
younger
big, is it?
children, as a rule,
Oh,
don't
is
they?
it?
I don't know, I just kind of.
Cirrhosis.
Oh.
Some of the old
Funny
rock
there.
Yeah.
still there.
Oh, don't
Look at
touch
the
the
snow.
button.
You know, we had snow last Wednesday.
You're in.
Big
Oh.
flakes.
Oh,
You're in.
did you?
Why, can't you see?
No, well, not with your eye in it.
Okay, there's the same, what about it?
Well, this one you can put your hand down here on the handle if you want to.
Oh.
There. Okay, you got
You
it?
know, Beverly,
Don't touch the button.
What button?
This one that you
Beverly finally
fingers on.
choked to death, you know.
You may have,
No, it's going.
is it?
Missouri.
Well, there's 2 lights on in here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna watch.
Beverly finally choked to death.
Well, that could be muscular dystrophy because the muscular dystrophy is very close to what Margaret had. Your muscles wither up.
She can't do anything with her mouth open.
Can't talk. Watch. And you direct it where you want it to go.
They gave her a
Cliff and the-
Well, that you're
Did he
getting
get
them all
fired?
out, yeah.
Did he get
they
fired?
gave her
There,
a
they was
hard-boiled
there.
egg or a
He
fried
died
egg or
right after
something
that picture.
that morning for breakfast, and she choked to death on it. she was not supposed to have any kind of
Yeah.
solid food, whatever. Della told me.
Well, that could be muscular dystrophy because see it's the muscles withering up is
Don't
what it
call
is.
that state misery.
Yeah.
See, Rita's done the same thing that Margaret did, and on one side she completely lost coordination on her hand. Otherwise, if you know, like
Don't wave in front of the lens.
yeah, I
That's
know.
okay.
I thought
That's
about
all
it.
right.
You know, like Margaret did, she'd try to reach or try to put something in an envelope, remember, or try to reach something.
Yeah.
But that's what Rita does with one side. It's just it was on one side for
What,
her.
don't they have a couple of little,
Yeah, they were there that day at the wedding.
that's just what I was thinking. Isn't that a shame, gosh? Don't
Rita
even
has
have a
never-
chance.
Rita has never been able to take the heat, and Rick's always had refrigeration for
But
us.
this is the way with this guy, and they told him not to get into heat over what, honey, 72 or something like that?
Well, it's such
70.
it seems like such a shame. Here's this young, you know darn good and well she's darn young,
Yeah, well, this guy that we're
and not
talking
even
about,
having a chance.
this guy we're talking about's our age, and he's an artist. But they completely make him better a lot. God,
Margaret, watch
he
my
gets to do
cigarette.
pretty good. He paints, but since he's
okay?
done better since he's gone up to the mountains. He doesn't live up there all the time. When it gets warm up there, he comes down to the beach. It's cooler.
It's just such a shame.
But these are things. Well,
But
there's
here this girl, this young girl has 2 little children.
and she's in a wheelchair
oh, is she
or a
in
walker.
wheelchair?
Well,
It's a walker and a cane.
yeah, I've seen her in she has been in a wheelchair though, hasn't she?
Well, it makes it much
Not
easier.
yet.
Oh, I thought you said she had.
Lots of times when they.
Margaret, give Grandpa a kiss.
Just not so doggone much
Oh,
over there.
just a little peck?
Just a little speck, you know.
Do I sense some jealousy there?
This is
Just a little
Cookie. It's
speck,
got a good
you know.
picture of Cookie.
I've got a good one too of him.
Huh?
Her.
Her. Where'd she
I
go?
didn't mean to correct my mother.
Well, it is a her.
Oh, this is neat. Ooh.
That guy built the plane, flies it, took the picture. And that's a drawing. She
There's
painted.
one in the trailer of that.
Is that the one that's in the trailer?
Yeah.
He lives right there in Laguna.
Still?
Sure.
Oh.
Red Carey, he lives up there
Yeah,
by
I've
the
heard
high
of
school.
Oh,
I
I
used
know
to
who
trade at
this
their
is,
store.
too.
Who?
That's from the mother, father, and sister.
Is there,
Mhm.
Daddy loves
Rub it on my eyes, and that's where I put the crud.
You must have been a
But
year old.
then too, it worked over.
Oh, just a few
He
months?
died in 1901 and
Who,
he was born
Daddy?
1902.
Who, your
Oh.
father?
Yeah, like Dad says, he's never had a grandmother, he's never had a father. He
That
had
looks like rain.
a mother for 6 years, and he never had anybody but me.
So what's it say on the back? Well, and he's got his family.
It doesn't. Oh. Says
I
that
mean, he never had a mother or a father or a
Spoiled brat.
grandmother or anybody. Had a mother for 6
That's right. I've only had
years.
relatives on one
That was
side.
the year Raymond did those coat hangers.
Well,
for his
Daddy
guys
didn't
for
have
their
any on
anniversary
any
present,
side.
And I think he's standing by you while you open them.
Oh, he had all
And then when his mother died and left 2 nice homes and a photographer shop and the whole shebang, they shoved him in an orphanage.
First time we was ever together one time.
So
It's Cliff, Al, me,
it's,
Roy.
I think it was kind of a raw
And there
deal
were 5
myself.
of you?
That's Alice. Let me see
Earl
that
wasn't
one.
there, he died.
Which one's that?
Oh.
Let me see. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
This one.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
another.
First time we was ever together.
There was only 5 of you?
it's getting better all the time,
This
Dad.
one wasn't with him
No,
because he
he
passed
died.
away.
Yeah, he died of
Dad?
tuberculosis of the.
It's gonna pay
something
off
like
yet.
that. Of
You got
the.
another one over there.
Not a.
Bill, go over there and
See this?
We can get
Set it
together
down.
here. Let me push this stuff.
Who's this, Uncle Roy? Who's this back here? Who's this back?
You could come too, Grandma.
Who's this one,
Well,
Daddy?
thank you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
She's gonna be an old poop
I'm
butt.
bad enough over here.
She's gonna be old poop butt
Yeah.
today. Maybe next time.
My
Wasn't he
dad
good
took
looking?
these pictures.
I'll get all dolled up
Patches.
in my
And
desk.
there was a man, yeah.
I don't know
There
which
was a
ones,
man,
but
Margaret, there was a man still in Burlington that remembered his dad.
Put it out.
I forgot to watch for it.
Oh, this, I remember this,
That's why I went and put it out.
this kid.
That's taken in Marfa, Texas.
Oh, now this is Uncle Cliff, isn't it? Who's it? That's Daddy. That's the niece or Daddy.
Cliff was an awfully nice looking man.
That's Uncle Roy.
You know, the police in Arizona wear outfits like this now.
See, honey? See? Can't you tell them that they look like brothers? They because he's wearing a hat. Isn't that that aunt?
Yes, Sheriff.
Yeah.
You know, when I
Taking
took,
one
them on the brush.
She's the one that
I
got
took
upset
the
at
trip
you
on
and
when
the
I took her picture when I went back after that new car. I hunted her up.
Is this your mother
Yeah.
and father?
Who are you looking at?
Daddy's grandfather.
Oh, I was talking about his father. But Roy says that's the meanest man that ever lived.
No, I'm talking about his grandfather.
Well, that's the one I'm talking about. That grandfather.
Well, all grandfathers in them days were mean.
Oh, were they?
Why, my grandfather wasn't.
You're darn right. I wouldn't let him be that way, Margaret.
I was born almost on her birthday.
Oh. Which is almost coming up, by the way.
Whose birthday?
Daddy's mother. Your mother was born what? The 2nd
I don't remember.
of May?
I thought it said January.
No, Dad's mother's.
Well, he's got pictures right here of her.
Yeah.
Cliff had the most beautiful picture of her.
January
I wish that they had
1883.
given us that.